There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino is the name, and I own over $500,000 in real estate with over $300,000 in equity. And in this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about, well, basically how I did it, like what my process was, because believe it or not, I've only put down $2,000. To own two houses, I put down $1,000 per house in order to put down the $1,000 of earnest money. And I used the VA loan to finance basically all of it. I haven't really had to come out of pocket to put any money down. As a matter of fact, I went to one closing, and I'm not even sure how. At my first closing, I ended up getting a check for either 20 something dollars or $50 or something crazy. But I know that it's not normal to see the person buying the house get a check. I'm not really even sure why I got a check when I put down $1,000 of earnest money, but I did for whatever reason. I don't know. But I don't really ever try to put any money down when I'm purchasing a house, or you know, trying to going into any kind of investment. I try to put down as little money as possible. But everybody, when you're buying real estate, you have to put the $1,000 of earnest money down. Now that also goes towards the house, but you have to put it down in order to lock in the deal in almost every situation that I've ever seen. And $1,000 used to be like the standard, but I've definitely heard of earnest money going up since then. I know people who have to put down $3,000 in earnest money, $5,000 in earnest money. Why? Maybe it's the size of the deal that they were purchasing. I'm not sure, but that is separate from a down payment. Okay, so let me tell you about the two houses. So one is the current house that I'm in right now, and this is my primary residence. And I closed on it for $233,000, and it is currently valued at about $420,000. So I owe I don't owe 233 anymore, but that's what I closed on it at. I owe 213 right now. So it's worth 420. So that's about, let's just say, minus the couple $100 here and there. So let's say it has about $206,000 in equity. And my first house, which is now my rental property or my investment property, my first house, it was my primary residence at the time. I bought it a long time ago, a couple years back, I think 2009, December of 2009. When I bought it foreclosure, and I bought it for 54,000, and it is currently between, depending on where, which one you use, it's between 138,000 and 170 something thousand. I don't know, it's a huge range, right? But like, you can look at multiple websites, they all got different values for it. But let's say we take the lowest one, and it's saying that it's about 138,000 for it, right? I owe 38,000 currently, so it's about $100,000 there plus the 206. So I'm a little above $300,000 in equity for those two houses. The mortgage here is like 1363. So let's just say 1365. Okay, let's just round up. So 1365 for the mortgage here, and the mortgage on my other house is five. It went up because taxes, every now and then taxes go up because the value of the house goes up. So the tax assessor goes out, reassess, and the taxes cause the mortgage, the fixed mortgage, to go up a little bit every now and then. So I was paying about when I first closed on the house, the mortgage was 405, and it went up to, last year was about 485. So over a period of time from 2009 to last year, it went from 405 to 485 gradually over time. This year, it's like 515 or 525. It went up quite a bit in value. So, yes, so that's what I currently have now. That house cash flows at about 400 and something a month. It was like 515, but it's a little less now that the value or the mortgage is going up just a little, but it's still cash flowing at 400 and something dollars a month. It's cash flow for a while. I have a great tenant. And so, yes, that's how. Now, of course, these rising housing prices and things like that have caused the values of real estate to kind of go crazy or whatever. But I will say that based off of, me going out and looking at what's on the market and things like that, because I'm still looking for more real estate to move to maybe a bigger house. This house is fairly nice size, but I want something huge, right? So I was looking around on the market, and before I decided that I was going to build, but I was looking around on the market, and to get this same size house, matter of fact, there were houses smaller than this selling for like 485, 500,000 by the same builder. Okay, it was just the market is just high. Okay, it's just what it is. So even though the value that I see online for this house being like 420, I know a house up the street just sold for 450, and this house is bigger than that one, and this house is actually nicer than some of the ones that I was seeing that was selling brand new for like 485. So for me to get a similar size house or bigger, definitely a similar size house, I would have to spend more than 420,000 in this current market. And maybe prices and things go down, but that's currently where I'm at. So even at 420, and knowing that that's over $200,000 in equity, I feel like that's actually low for what I have, right? Like if I went out into the market right now, I'd be definitely spending way more than 420 to get into an exact replica of this house, which means that and honestly, I'm fine with them saying, well, it's only worth this or whatever. I'm fine with that, but I know that if I listed it, that it'll be a bidding war, and it'll go quick. It'll go extremely quick. Even if I listed at 450, it'll go quick because my house is actually better than the house that is for sale up the street. So in my opinion, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll sell pretty quick, and I'm not looking to sell it, of course, but it went up 1 month, 22,000 in equity in 1 month. Okay. Now they're building some new houses nearby, whatever. Actually, not far at all. Maybe less than 5 minutes probably away from here, and same builder. And as those houses sell, really, I don't know if they're going to be houses, townhouses, what size, any of that. I don't know that yet. But when those houses start selling, I'm expecting these houses to continue to rise because Atlanta is a very hot market right now, and I look forward to the rising equity. So hopefully this house can get to maybe 500,000 in value over this year or over the year or two. I'm fine with it taking 2 years. It's still fine. I still will owe probably maybe 200,000. Maybe this house gets me to 300,000 in equity alone. Who knows? But I'm definitely more interested into multifamily properties at this point, unless I'm just buying a house for me to live in or something like that, then, it's that. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and share that information with you guys so that you can see that time allows the values to go up. So if you're hesitant about buying a place right now, don't worry, go ahead and buy it because it's still going to be cheaper than it will be in 20 years. Like I said, my mortgage is 1,300 and something. So, but even if you bought in at 400 and some thousand, and let's say that in the next 2 years the market dips, it may dip some, it may, but the value that you get from buying a home And the comfort mentally, even just knowing that you own something and that it's yours, like you don't have to leave, you don't have to move. Just that knowledge is like just having a place that you feel secure, that you can go back to. It's like I can't explain the feeling. Just knowing that I'm not in that fight to find a spot, it's amazing. But even if this house drops to, let's say there's a market crash and this house drops not just 100,000, not just 200,000. Let's say the value of this home drops down to, I don't know, $100,000, right? Which is $133,000 more than what I paid, right? I mean, less than what I paid, right? So even if this house drops down because of some market crash and it's so devastating that it loses over $300,000 in equity, it still would be fine, because over the next 20 years, 30 years, the value is still going to go back up at some point, and I'd still be fine with that. And when that value, because the value of the dollar is like how inflation is going, it's just going to cost way more money, or the value of things is going to continue to rise as inflation goes up. So I'm fine with that. Like, let it go, If you already own, you're in good position. But if you're like somebody who's trying to buy in 15, 20 years, then it might be a little tough, might be pretty tough, or it might be extremely expensive, because maybe you'll have the money. See, inflation is going up because there's so much money in circulation, right? But you still have to own something, a business, a house, a car, in order to benefit from that inflation. If not, you're just paying more to rent, you're paying more, to I guess rent cars and rent houses if you don't own it, So the value is going up. My Porsche has gone up 5,000 in value since I got it. When does that happen ever, So anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we are out. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap. You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.